Championship football is relentless. Here we are on a Sunday, about to predict the scores for game week 13 of this 2023-2024 Championship season. Before we do that though, over the weekend there were some fantastic matches. Some of the matches of course were postponed as well, but top scorer for game week 12 with a lovely score of 19.5 points with 4 perfect scores was Travis McKill, and in second place we have Miru on 17.5 points, who also came away with 4 perfect scores. How this affects the overall leaderboard? Well, familiar faces at the top there of Alex Cochrane on 136.5 points and Ferris 77, who's moved back up to second position on 135.5 points. Myself, I've dropped down one place to 10th position and hope to make amends this game week. So we move on, as I said, game week 12, where Huddersfield take on Cardiff City. Cardiff City over the weekend travelled to Blackburn Rovers unlucky, and a goal ruled out which would have put them 1-0 up, but eventually they succumbed to that pressure and they lost that match 1-0. Huddersfield Town got their first victory in 6 matches with a 2-1 victory over Queen's Park Rangers. Another tight one, this one. Kind of both these sides find it hard to hit the back of the net, so it's going to be low scoring. Could end up 0-0, but I am going to go for a 1-1 draw. We then move on to the Den, London, where Millwall last time out, a 1-1 draw in the Saturday lunchtime kick-off with Preston End. Good point for the Lions there, and Blackburn Rovers, as we said, beating Cardiff City 1-0. Another tight one, this one. Could go either way. London under the lights. I'm edging more to a Millwall victory, and look, as you can see, the bookies expect that as well, although a draw could be on the cards, and I think it will. I think this is going to end up as a 1-1 draw, same as the first match. We then move on to Carrow Road, where Norwich City 2-0 up against Leeds on the weekend and threw it all away, and Leeds came back to win that one 3-2. And Middlesbrough, as we said in the last video, it was Carrick against Rooney, and it was Carrick who came up on top with this Middlesbrough side to beat the Blues 1-0 in this side. In this match, another tight one, but I expect Middlesbrough to gain their 6th victory on the bounce, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory. We then move on to Swansea City, who take on Watford. Now Swansea going 1-0 up against Leicester until the Foxes turned it around and really showed that they are going to steamrolling this division. I think that's, or is it 12 wins, 11 wins out of 12 now for the Foxes. And Swansea City, good form, unlucky, probably one of the toughest matches that Leicester has faced this season, and I expect the Jacks to bounce back in this one. Watford though carved out a victory themselves against relegation strugglers Sheffield Wednesday, but I think the Jacks will come through with this one quite comfortably. I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win. Then we move on to Leicester City, champions elect of course, taking on Sunderland. Sunderland, 2 defeats now on the bounce, a disappointing defeat against Stoke City. There's only going to be one winner in this one, and I'm going to go for another Leicester victory, and I think they're going to repeat that scoreline from the weekend. I'm going to go for a 3-1 home win. We then move on to West Brom against QPR. Now West Brom only 1 defeat in their last 7 matches. It was QPR 2 draws in their last 7 matches. The rest of them have been losses. A 0-0 draw with Plymouth Argyle for the Baggies in the last game, and it was same old story for QPR with the 4th defeat on the bounce. Could they get something out here if they can stand, if they can keep that defence together, then maybe, but I fully expect at home West Brom to take all 3 points in a 2-0 win. We then move on to St Andrews, same city as West Brom. This one takes place on Wednesday. The one from West Brom takes place on Tuesday, so the Blues hoping to bounce back after that defeat against Middlesbrough on the weekend. And Hull City, now surprisingly they've only won 1 match out of their last 7, only 2 defeats. They are really the draw specialists at the moment in the division, the Tigers. And could Birmingham get all 3 points in this one? No, I think This one's going to end up in a draw as well, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. We then move on to Ashton Gate against Ipswich, and you could say that this is the game of the midweek as well. Bookies favouring Ipswich in this one. They didn't play, of course, because that game on Friday evening against Rotherham was cancelled. Bristol City, a very good win against Coventry City, which could have gone either way, but could end up in a draw. Ipswich could take all 3 points. This is an exciting one, but I think, flipping out, I'm actually going to go for a Wurzels victory. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win. Then we move on to home park down on the south coast, where Plymouth Argyle taking on Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, Plymouth, the Pilgrims have only got 1 win in the last 7 matches, but Sheffield Wednesday, although defensively I don't think they're that bad, losing again. That was their 5th defeat in 7. So I'm going to have to go for a Plymouth win in this one, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win. We then move on to Preston End, back up at Deepdale for the second time on the trot for Preston, taking on Southampton. Southampton, a lovely win against Hull City, the Tigers. Preston, as we said, drawing on Saturday lunchtime against Millwall. Tough one to call. Another one that could go either way, but Preston stuttering after that great start. And I'm going to go for a Southampton victory, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win to the Saints. Then we move on to Rotherham. Will this one be on? Who knows? The health and safety around the stadium, the actual pitch apparently was okay, but they've got this massive habit, haven't they, Rotherham, of calling off matches, but you can probably understand why this one, whereas previous times in the past, they've, it's been a little bit suspect, hasn't it? Coventry City, as we said, a defeat against Bristol City on the weekend. I expect them to bounce back in this one if it's on. Take your umbrella, because Coventry, the Sky Blue, is going to come away with a 1-0 victory. And the final match of this game week sees Stoke City take on Leeds United. We talk about Stoke City's very good squad earlier in the season, and that was only their 2nd win out of the last 7 matches. But Leeds United turning their fortunes around now massively since the start of the season, coming back from 2-0 down against Norwich to take all 3 points. That was a good away victory. The travelling army should be able to roar them on again against Stoke on this Wednesday evening, and I think Stoke will score, but I think Leeds United cement themselves in the playoffs with a 2-1 home victory. So that concludes my predictions for game week 13. There'll be another prediction show later this week where I'll be predicting the results for game week 14. Relentless, the Champions League matches as well this midweek. So we march on. Make sure you leave your predictions as well over at the Superbru website as usual. Link is in the description, there's the code in there as well if you're not already joined up. But thanks for watching once again. Enjoy the midweek fixtures, and I'll see you all in the next video.